going on the Facebook Live was repeating onto here. So welcome to day 3 of 31 days of I Am Transformation. I'm Stephanie Matthews with magicalmothering.com. And today I'm really excited to share about this emotional I am statements. So I'm looking forward to those who are going to be joining in either through the Zoom. I am on Zoom for those on Facebook. If you'd like to hop over to the Zoom link that is in the Mighty Networks group. If you want to stay here on Facebook, awesome. Welcome. Hello, Anne. Hello, Lonice. Yay. Okay. So there is some really amazing stuff with the emotional body. I've done a lot of mini programs. A lot of the magical mothering method, the 13 months, is really about reprogramming, reconstructing, gaining control over our emotions. So I want you to just take a moment right now and feel. This is all about feeling. So I want you to feel what's some kind of bigger emotions are resonating or right on the surface. So just take a moment, tap in. What emotions are surfacing right now? And you can either write them down, you can write them in the comments. I would love to hear what emotions are going through. They don't necessarily, all emotions are acceptable. So know that, like, all emotions. So there could be some excitement, there could be contentment, there could be joy, there could be a little bit of anxiety, there could be some fatigue, there could be some emotional aspects, there could be some sadness lurking in, there could be some this desire could be in there. Sandy, I love it. Excitement. Yes. So with what we are doing over these next 31 days, nervous excitement. I love that. Yeah. So there's this, I feel like whenever there's a 31 days of anything, there's always these expectations, right? And those can really play havoc on our emotional body, because anytime, again, when we're living in the future, we get kind of this like anxiety, right? And then if you've been with me a while, you know that there's a coin, and on one side of the coin is anxiety, and on the other side of the coin is excitement. So same coin, you can just flip that emotion. So that's something that is really powerful. I love it. Lonice, urgency and excitement. I love that. And gratitude and grief. Aren't those often, those have been mixed, this gratitude and grief. I feel like the past year, since last March, there's been a lot of this gratitude and grief. Gratitude for what we do have, gratitude for the ability to be healthy, the gratitude to be able to be in our space, the gratitude to have what we are going through. And yet there's this grief of this dying of everything that we knew, everything that we once knew, everything that we once held familiar. And so there's a shift happening in this aspect. I used to be all anxiety. I'm so glad I'm on the other side of the coin, right? On the other side of excitement, of knowing, of how to control or shift or kind of manipulate that aspect. So yeah, that is super powerful. So the emotional body, when we tap into our emotional body, there is this aspect of really knowing and being and creating with our whole body. So our emotional body is the ticket to really transforming what it is that we want in our lives. Without the emotional body behind it, we can't actually create anything. I mean, try to make a baby without any emotion in there. It's not going to happen usually. And um, kind of to bring up a darker aspect of this, heightened emotions of any sort, fear or trauma or pleasure, they can be anywhere on the spectrum, but heightened emotions create and manifest very quickly. So that is why we're going to actually do a whole day just on the sacral chakra, doing I am statements around the sacral chakra to really manifest with that pleasure aspect, with that creativity, with that womb space and all that. So, but today I really want to create some I am statements for our emotional health. And for me, a lot of the journey of this started with Rudolf Steiner, and he talks a lot about equanimity. And equanimity is really having those equal emotions, neither being really super high or neither being really super low, just having this equanimity. And I think for me, I've really found that equanimity is a solid, like just joy, just content, and not this super frenetic or ecstatic, hyper aware aspects, and not a really, low key contentment, but it's this vibration. It's an energetic and emotional vibration. And so, yeah, Leandra, gratitude. Everything really is going amazing and a little bit of overwhelm, right? I know when we start manifesting our dream life, it can almost get a little overwhelming because we're like, oh gosh, I'm actually creating this. But the reality is you've been creating your reality the entire time. You're just shifting that reality into something that you actually want and desire. And so now it's fully in your control, more or less, right? You're actually using your divine influence to create and manifest rather than having these unreined in emotions controlling and manifesting for you. So I love that aspect, Leandra. Sorry about that. And so there's another aspect of emotionality. And so not only do we want to be equal, and when I thought about equanimity, I was like, oh man, that's so lame. Who wants to be equal in their emotions? Because I'm a very bubbly and high energy and probably a intense energy and emotional body to be around. And I went, I don't want to dull myself to be in this state of equanimity. But I realized that equanimity is what it is for me. So I am a balanced state of joy. And just wear that. I am a balanced state of calm. I am a balanced state of peace. Let's bring in these divine emotions. Let's bring in these emotions from, if you've ever read the book Power versus Force, it's a really amazing way to really look at those differences of emotional vibrational levels. And it's neither good nor bad, but really, like, apathy is at the very bottom. And then you move up into anger, and then you move up into sadness, then you move up into grief. Then you, like, as you're moving up through the emotions, you get to the heart center, and that's love. And that's the beginning of these higher vibrational emotions. So I am in a balanced state of love. And I want to be really mindful about being in that balance, because so often we can say, I am love, and then we give and 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 give. And it's not a balanced state of love. It's this over giving, people pleasing. I get there so quickly and so easily. And so for me, really creating and saying and being very mindful with my I am statements, I am a balanced state of love, which means I equally give love to myself as I do outward. I'm unconditionally loving and accepting to myself as well as to those around me. I am equally forgiving of myself as I am to others. So there's this really amazing power in the word balance. And so when intricately designing, and I'm hoping that by the end of this 31 days, we'll just like be adorning not only our inner life with these I am statements, but we'll be crafting and creating and drawing or painting or kind of adorning all around our physical spaces as well with these I am statements. So allowing for these kind of the structure of what feels and resonates with you in designing these I am statements. So as you're writing them, as you're reading them, as you're going through them, you can really create a space of allowing for these to resonate at the perfect vibrational level to bring you up into that space. Yeah, so Anne was saying she relates with that, and Lanice gave a big yes. So there's this, I would love to hear a few of your I am statements for your emotional health. And where is it that vibrationally, I want you to think of emotions as a vibration, because that's exactly what they are. They're like a tuning fork. So as we're creating these I am statements, we want to create a emotional level that is actually tuning us to a higher vibration. So think of a higher vibrational emotion: peace, joy, contentment, love, any of these aspects, and allow for your body to sit in the vibrational resonancy of that emotion. Kind of wear it, adorn yourself with it today. So put on joy and see if it's what the vibration feels like. And then maybe take that off and put on peace and feel that. And then take that emotion off and put on unconditional love and acceptance. Maybe there's some forgiveness that needs to happen. Maybe there's some understanding that needs to happen. Maybe there's some, maybe you can mix a few of these. And now, as after you put them on individually, then you can kind of integrate them. I am joyously, unconditionally loving. Put on those emotions. How does that feel? And then we can, I am happy. What is happiness? What is happiness to you? What characteristics, what content, what physical surroundings need to be in your life in order for you to feel happiness? And this is a real thing. We do need to have our basic needs met in order to get into these higher vibrational emotional states. So look around. Do you need to make sure that you have food for the week for your family? Do you need to make sure that you have a secure you time every day? Do you need to make sure that you are nourishing yourself with enough nature time? Do you need to make sure that you feel safe in your home? Do you need to make sure that you are being spoken to in a way that is not gaslighting or pulling you into those broken spaces? These are all really vital to acknowledge what it is that you need in order to get into these higher emotional states. And this does go back to that magical mothering method. If you need support in reprogramming or redesigning or creating a solid new foundation, I really welcome you to join in the 13-month Chakra Box. This is something that gets delivered to your doorstep with a healing crystal, a chakra potion that is made from all wildcrafted plants that I harvest myself from across the United States. It has 4 weeks worth of workbooks, videos, and then a monthly healing session. And then there's an option of doing monthly private sessions or weekly private sessions as well. So a lot of times, whenever I'm doing something like this 31 days of I am transformation, all of these aspects are very generalized. Obviously, the women that are joining in live, I'm able to I know them, and so I'm able to express with them and pull out some of those aspects with them. And so if you're looking for some more private or personalized attention, do not hesitate to reach out, because that is what I'm here for as well. So I'm excited to hop on over to the Mighty Networks, and I'm going to make a post for today. And I would love to hear your I am statements. I'd love to hear maybe a little bit more in depth over in the Mighty Networks. Kind of share where you're at emotionally, what emotions have been really taking over you. And I'll just share mine. Mine has been frustration. That is probably it's in my human design to go into frustration when I'm not living my design. So I have been taking daily time every day, and I've actually been doing this book. As you can tell, it's a very loved, and Your Time is at Hand is what it's called. I've been doing this book every morning and having a spiritual time, and I can almost like tell when it's wearing off. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like there comes a point in the day where I'm like, oh gosh, I really need to do my I am statements again, because all of the energies around me are really getting to me. And so another emotional aspect that I tend to go to is I tend to let the negative voices in my mind be the voice of my higher self. And so this is something that we get to continuously work on, right? Because as we're reprogramming, not only are we reprogramming our own lives, we do this healing journey for ourselves. And then I work with healers. So as we're working on our own healing, then we get the opportunity to absorb and be in the energetic vibration of, even this forest that I'm sitting in has an energetic vibration. And so often, whenever I'm going to these new places, I can pick up on that energy vibration, and it's no longer just myself that I'm working on, right? It's no longer you that you're working on in your own personal healing journey. You're healing your home, you're healing your community, you're healing the city, you're healing the county, you're healing the state, you're healing the globe in our work. So if you tend to be like, I'm doing the work, recognize, this is the other key, recognize, is the emotional states that you're in your own, or are you picking up on others' emotional states? We are all empathic and highly empathic in this space. So none of us have a narcissistic tendency are unable. None of us have borderline personality disorder and are unable to feel. In fact, we're heightened in our ability to feel. We all have very highly emotional states, and we're very empathic. And so there's an aspect of being aware of that you're not just doing your own healing journey here. You're going to be doing the healing journeys of countless individuals around you. And at any time, you can cut those cords. Ooh, I just like, ooh, as I said it, you can just cut those cords and allow for those cords to be transmuted and sent back to those individuals until you're in a state of those higher vibrational emotions that you can then say, okay, now I'm ready to do some transmuting of those around me, of the globe, of the world, of the forest, wherever you are. So thanks so much for letting me be a part of your healing journey. I'm excited to continue this conversation over in the Mighty Networks group. If you don't have that link, or if you're not a part of the Mighty Networks private community, please just send me a message and I will send you the invite to join in. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.